Hey guys, Paul Riddick here. Welcome to part 3 of how to get your son recruited, how to get him attention and noticed by coaches, scouts, and recruiters, and how to get him to the next level. So I guess this is about 15 years ago now, maybe a little longer. I used to coach a group of kids year round. We would start in September. We train all the way to the end of July, and every year we would have an event where I would bring in a college coach, and it became kind of a friends and family event. They'd invite their teammates, parents would invite other parents from other teams, stuff like that. So it kind of became like a bigger event. And so I would bring in different levels of college coaches: JUCO, D1, D2, D3. We had an NCAA compliance officer one time come in and talk to our kids all about the recruiting process and everything they needed to know about recruiting. And so one year we brought in Fred Hill, legendary coach from Rutgers, who unfortunately recently passed away. He was a great, great man. And because Fred was there, I mean, the place was packed out. Like, we had a cafeteria in the high school that we used to use, and it was packed out. I don't know exactly how many people, but it was between 200 and 300 people. It was a big, big audience. And Fred did something at the front of his talk. And I've been around speaking and speakers for a long time. I was 15 years Yogi Berra's resident speaker at his museum, and I've given well over 1,000 presentations. I've been on all kinds of places to speak and events and seminars, and I've seen dozens of speakers. And I'm telling you, I have never seen an audience more quiet than that night. So Fred Hill starts his presentation after being introduced, and saying it's great to be here, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, how many of you think if I'm recruiting your kid, I should look at how hard he works? Every hand goes up. And he goes, hard work? He said, all my players work hard. Hard work at my level is nothing special. Hard work is nothing unique. I'm not going to recruit a player because he works hard. I'm going to expect every player in our program to work hard. And I'm going to tell you, man, that crowd fell silent. Because for the first time, they were told the truth. And that truth hurt a little bit. Because how many times have you heard a father or even a player, or maybe a guy that you know who used to be a player, saying, I can't believe they didn't give that kid a chance. You know how hard that kid works? I can't believe I didn't get a chance. I worked harder than any other player. I deserved the chance. Or I worked so hard at this, or this team worked so hard. They deserve it. And somehow we think that hard work should determine the chance that we get. Well, it's not true. And I'm sure that's true for every level of college. Now, I'm sure you could probably point to some school where the players are a little bit lazy, and I probably don't have a great reputation. But if you're going to go to a school that's going to have a good baseball program, a good reputation, I promise you, I think you're going to find what Coach Hill said to be true everywhere you go, that hard work is nothing unique. Is hard work is something that is expected. What is going to help your son is not how hard he works. He's going to be expected to do that. But how does he fit into that team? And Coach Hill went on later that night to talk about, I'm trying to fill out a roster. And filling out that roster is like putting together pieces of a puzzle. And all I'm looking for is, can your son fill one of these pieces in the puzzle? Now, maybe he's a big piece, maybe he's a small piece, but he's got to fit into that puzzle somewhere. And I'm going to recruit him based on his ability to take over one of those pieces in our puzzle. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about what I think is one of the biggest things standing in the way of players today from becoming a piece of that puzzle and being recruited. So we have some resources for you down below that are all on discount. The links are down below. We have How to Talk to Coaches, Scouts, and Recruiters, a program me and Daryl Coulter did that takes these conversations we're having this week and goes full on into them. If you really want to dive deeper, that's the course to do it. Vanderbilt Pitching Foundations, which was created by Derek Johnson, who is now the pitching coach for the Cincinnati Reds. He was pitching coach for Vanderbilt at the time. And that is an inside look to what goes on in Division I pitching program. How they recruit players, what they expect of players, day-to-day stuff. I mean, a lot of that will surprise you. There are not many programs that will take you that deep inside of a Division I program. And then number 3 is a masterclass I've created called How to Get Your Son to the Next Level. 7 things that you could do as a father to help your son get to the next level and achieve whatever baseball goal he has. So all those programs are on discount. Also, there's some links down below of some other ways that I can be of service to you. And tomorrow, we're going to talk about how you can fit in and be a piece of that puzzle. See you tomorrow.